Coming up at 4:30, happening just hours ago, former President Donald Trump is once again appealing another charge against him. April showers are here, but will they stick around? Destiny Pittman will have your full forecast. And why is Sylvester Stallone facing criticism on the set of his latest show, Tulsa King? Finally, the OKC Thunder were in the Paycom Center last night against the Kings. Mark will have a full breakdown of the game in sports. All this and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Emma Birch.
And I'm Perla Tovar. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
Lawyers for Donald Trump have filed another emergency appeal to stop the hush money trial from starting on Monday. Trump's defense team wants to put that trial on hold so they can appeal a lower court's ruling on presidential immunity. In the filing, Trump's lawyers allege the court exceeded its authority in those rulings. They also questioned Judge Juan Merchan's refusal to recuse himself from the trial. A hearing has not been set, and at this point, the Manhattan criminal case is expected to move forward on April 15th. Earlier this week, Trump's lawyers asked the appeals court to halt the trial over pre-trial publicity and gag order. Both requests were denied.
And gunfire erupts during a celebration in Philadelphia. While thousands of attendees gathered to celebrate the end of Ramadan, many families were enjoying the afternoon when this tragedy broke out. As of now, at least 2 people were shot and 5 people, including a 15-year-old, is currently in custody. Multiple guns have been recovered at the shooting scene. This is an ongoing story.
Much of the southern U.S. from Texas to the East Coast is gripping with powerful, dangerous storms that now have turned deadly. Mississippi's Emergency Management Agency is confirming that at least 1 storm-related death in the state Wednesday afternoon. Several other cities across the southeast, rain and high winds and flooding roads are flattening some homes and businesses and causing some counties to deploy hundreds of water rescuers, with a threat of tornadoes expected to continue for some into the overnight hours. Laura Aguirre brings us on Wednesday's wild weather and where it's heading next. More than 240,000 customers are without power across the storm-affected states this hour, according to poweroutage.us. Several state offices and school districts were closed on Wednesday in Texas and Louisiana. And we actually had some rain today, not as bad as that, so maybe, hopefully not as bad as that.
Yeah, with all the storms in Texas, what does that mean for Oklahoma?
Well, let's toss it over to Destiny Pittman for our first look at weather. Destiny?
Have been seeing some rain, but that rain is going to be done for the rest of the week, but we will start to see some rain again next week as we are in spring. Today was a very great day today. It rained earlier, so the clouds are still out in the sky, so it is partly sunny. There are some clouds covering the sun though. It is not too windy though as well. The wind's blowing 7 miles per hour going north, so not too strong of winds, but those winds are going to increase tonight and throughout the rest of the week, and we'll see some very high winds coming up. And then it's also about 65% for the humidity rate, so it is very, very humid outside. So if you've noticed, you've probably felt very sticky as you've walked outside. And then it does feel like it's about 58 degrees. So it is still a little warm outside, that nice warm spring weather. And as we move on to tonight, we will see that for tonight, the temperatures are going to go down tonight. Clouds are staying in the sky though, mostly cloudy. And like I said, those winds are going to start picking up. Those winds will start picking up tonight and carry on into early next week. We can see that the winds are still going to be blowing north-northeast today. Tonight blowing 6 to 13 miles per hour, but there are going to be those really strong gusts of winds that are going to be up to 20 miles per hour as we get on throughout tonight. Humidity rate is going down a little though. It's still going to be about 23%. So a lot less than what we have seen today. Like I said, that rain that we were seeing is gone for now, but it is going to come back on later in the week. And then today, if you have allergies, you've probably noticed it. For tree allergens, they are very, very high outside today. That's the main one that's high. Weeds are pretty low, and mold is also low, and there's almost no grass. So if you have tree allergies, just make sure to take some allergy medicine, because you've probably noticed that they are very high. That's all I have for now, and I will have your full weather forecast later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
And it looks like the U.S. economy is also having a gloomy day too, because the Federal Reserve just announced their new inflation report for the past 12 months. UCentral's reporter Sam has the story.
Company values are declining across the United States because just a few hours ago, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in their Consumer Price Index, or CPI, that inflation is much higher than expected, at 3.5% in the past 12 months. The CPIs are based on prices of food, clothing, shelter, fuels, transportation, doctor services, drugs, and other goods and services that people buy for day-to-day living. The previous report in February was marked at 3.2%, with prices rising 0.4% month over month. The biggest increase in prices throughout the past year are transportation services, rising 10.7% across the nation. Since the Federal Reserve printed up to 80% of all bills ever in circulation during the pandemic, Fed Chair Jerome Powell's goal is to get inflation back down to 2%.
To help offset the effects these factors are currently having on the economy, and to promote a faster return of inflation to our symmetric 2% objective.
The Federal Reserve has a tricky job. They must balance inflation so that it's not too high, while also not deflating the economy by tightening monetary policy with high interest rates. From Edmond, Sam Kozlowski, UCentral News.
A consumer watchdog group wants the popular snack kit Lunchables removed from school lunch programs because of the excessive sodium. Tuesday, Consumer Reports petitioned the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which oversees the National School Lunch Program, to keep the product out of schools' cafeterias. Public schools introduced the ready-to-meals by Kraft Heinz as an option last year. The company said it had to reformulate the ingredients to ensure they met federal guidelines. But according to Consumer Reports, the Lunchables served at schools are even higher in sodium than the ones sold in stores. The group says the lunch kits also contain harmful chemicals that can lead to serious health problems over time. Kraft Heinz issued a statement saying the company has taken steps to improve the nutrition profile of Lunchables, like adding fruit to meal kits and reducing sodium in the crackers. And I know it's like we said, it was raining last night, kind of chilly today. Hopefully it doesn't stick around. I'm ready for that warm weather.
Yes, for sure. Whenever we come back, Destiny Pittman will have our first look at weather.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back, everyone. I am here to give you your full weather forecast. So as we know, there has been some nice rain and some cooler temperatures we've been seeing this week. So let's see what the rest of the state is looking like for tonight. As we start up in Guyman, we can see it's going to be the coldest part of the state, about 36 degrees, a little bit above freezing. As we move across the state, though, we can see temperatures do start to warm up. We see about 43 in Woodward, and it continues to warm up with 47 in Clinton, 48 in Altus. And as we look at the Oklahoma City and Edmond area, it's going to be about 46 degrees there. So not too cold for some spring evenings. And then 47 down in Ardmore. As we look at this part of the state, though, we can see Tulsa and McAllister, some of the warmer parts of the state, with 52 in Tulsa and 50 in McAllister. Then Ponca City and Miami are both going to be 48 degrees. So we're seeing a lot of 40s and 50s, and then even that 30 up in Guyman. As we move on for tomorrow, though, we can see temperatures warm up. Temperatures going to be pretty similar of what they were today, with less rain, though. So we see a lot of 67s. We see 67 in Guyman, Woodward, Enid, and Ponca City. So that nice, warm, almost 70s degree weather over in Clinton, one of the cooler parts of the state. 58 degrees. As we get south, though, we can see a lot of 70s, 70 in Altus, Lawton, and Ardmore. And then 66 in the Oklahoma City and Edmond area, 68 in Tulsa, and then 66 in Miami. So we can see we're getting consistently staying at about the 60-degree weather as we've been seeing the past few days. It's been in the 60s, and it's going to continue to just warm up as spring continues on. And then I'm just going to give you your 7-day forecast. As we look ahead for the week, we can see a lot of sun, some rain, and a lot of wind as well. As we look for tomorrow's going to be, like I said, much like today, a little warmer and less rain. 67 for our high, 46 for our low. But as we see until Sunday, it is going to be nice and sunny out. Sunny Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the temperature is going to continue to warm up as we get closer to next week. 78 on Friday for our high, 60 for our low. And as we look at Saturday, we can see it's going to be nice and sunny. 80 degrees, we're getting up into those 80s starting that day. It's going to feel nice, but the winds are going to be very high, much like they're going to be tonight. And that wind is going to carry on until next week. And then 65 for our low as we get to Sunday. Sunday's going to be our last nice sunny day. You can see 86 for our high, one of our warmest parts of this upcoming week, and sunny and 67 for our low. As we get on to next week, though, we can see Monday is going to be nice and rainy, 40% chance of rain. And with that rain, there is going to be some chance of thunderstorms. Temperature's still going to be pretty high, though. 84 for our high, and then 60 for our low. And then on Tuesday, we can see the sun is coming nice out, and it's going to be out again. 80 for our high, 60 for our low. But then Wednesday, we're seeing some more of those high winds like we've been seeing today. And then also next week on Wednesday, high winds, 84 degrees. I know that I'm excited for this upcoming weather. Emma, Perla, how are you guys feeling looking at this forecast?
Well, looking at the next couple of days, it looks pretty nice. I mean, I can't complain about 70s. The wind, you know, it's Oklahoma, we're always going to be windy, but so far it looks pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Destiny, I was wanting to ask, with all the storms coming in from the south, are we expecting any severe thunderstorms on Monday?
So yes, as we can see on Monday, it is going to be some rain, and there are going to be chances of some thunderstorms. And there is a small potential for that to get severe because, like I said, we also have those high winds. So the mix of the high winds with that thunderstorm can increase the chance of severe weather.
Well, thank you so much. Very good information. Coming up in social media, we have the Find Out What highly anticipated show releasing early.
And a new movie trailer released today. Shanice Hopkins will have the details after the break.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Shanice Hopkins, and here's what's trending today. Paramount is looking into claims that Sylvester Stallone allegedly used disparaging language towards background actors on the set of Tulsa King. The studio is investigating claims that first surfaced on social media in which Stallone was accused of referring to some of the extras on set as, quote, ugly, a, quote, tub of lard, and a, quote, fat guy with a cane, according to two sources close to the show. Following this, a background casting agency working on the crime comedy decided it was done and quit through a Facebook post that reads that they wanted to send an update on what's happening and that they have chosen to part ways at the end of the week. This story is still developing, so stay tuned for updates. The official trailer for the new and anticipated Joker sequel premiered today, so here's a quick look.
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
Lady Gaga is making her long-awaited debut as Harley Quinn alongside Joaquin Phoenix in the reprisal of his Oscar-winning Joker. In this trailer, they show both Joker and Harley Quinn and the story of how they met while they were both institutionalized. Once their bond formed, they decided to break out of the facility. Talk about a bad romance. Joker Folie à Deux will premiere in theaters on October 4th. Speaking of highly anticipated series, Fallout, the streaming adaptation of the video game series, will be available a day earlier than its original release. That's right, you heard me correctly. You will be able to stream the series this evening at 8 p.m. Central Time instead of its April 12th release. Fallout, which is being produced in conjunction with Bethesda Game Studios, is an adaptation based on the video game series that takes place after the globe is decimated by a nuclear apocalypse. With the successful release of The Last of Us, it seems like video game adaptations are on the come up. Finally, we are a little over a month away from another solo project from Zayn Malik. To celebrate, he released his tracklist on Instagram. Room Under the Stars will be a 15-track album which features songs like What I Am, Alienated, My Woman, and more. The album will arrive on May 17th and will be Zayn's first full-length solo project since he released Nobody Is Listening in 2021. And that's what was trending today. With spring finally here, I'm excited to see a lot of new projects coming out. What about you guys? What are you guys excited for?
I'm really excited for Zayn just because I'm a One Direction girly from probably 8 years old. And so to see him come back in the music world is making me really happy. What about you, Shanice?
I'm definitely excited for this album. I actually was reading up that he's also executive producing a kids movie as well. So I'm just glad that he's doing good this year.
Interesting.
That is really great to hear. Coming up in sports, baseball is wrapping up a series against an in-state rivalry yesterday.
And Olympic gold medalists will now be receiving a cash prize. Mark Lowe will have this and more in sports after the break.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Mark Lowe, and today we're taking a look at the Broncos' ranks ahead of some big matchups. Starting out, a busy and successful weekend for Bronco sports means an update to the rankings for 4 Bronco teams. Starting out with tennis, Nafili Zafiri has joined Pete Kamada in the top 75 rankings, coming in at number 69. Over on the water, rowing is also staying atop the rankings, coming in at number 1 for Division II, ahead of the Netsch Cup in New Jersey. Over on the diamond, softball is also staying the same, ranked at number 8, going into the weekend matchup against number 4 Rogers State. And baseball is climbing the rankings again after a win against number 9 Missouri Southern, coming in at 18. All of these teams are in action again this weekend, so be sure to come on out and cheer them on. Speaking of baseball, they wrapped up its season-long series with Northeastern State yesterday in Edmond, and it was a tight battle between the Broncos and the Riverhawks. A slow start to the game didn't see the first runs get on the board until the 5th inning, with Justin Santoyo hitting a grounder to second base to advance Garrett Lawn to getting to third and getting Orlando Gonzalez home. Later on, Caleb Glass got in on the action, hitting a single to the shortstop and allowed for Garrett Lawn to get home to go up 2-0. The Riverhawks got 1 run in the 6th, but that was it, and the Broncos get the series sweep over Northeastern. Yesterday was the Broncos' 30th win of the season as they entered the last 10 games of their season, starting this weekend against other in-state conference opponent Rogers State. The Hillcats are 20-16 this season and are coming off a win against number 9 Missouri Southern yesterday. This series starts this Friday at 6 p.m. at the Wendell Simmons Field right here after the softball games wrap up, so it'll make for a great day at the ballparks. Bringing it over to the green now, the men's golf team is on a hot streak headed into the conference championship in Kansas City, Missouri next week. But before they hit the course, UCentral Sports' Brady Gray spoke with junior Bennett Baldwin on the recent success ahead of next week's match. Brady?
Thank you, Mark. We're here in studio today with UCO junior golfer Bennett Baldwin. Bennett, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you guys are arguably the hottest golf team in America right now. To put it completely
It's a hot
frank.
take, yeah, I like it.
You guys have finished top 2 in your last 7 tournaments, dating all the way back to October. You guys have finished first for the last 3 tournaments in a row, I believe. What's it been like being on this tear that you guys have been on?
It's been a lot of fun. I think those second place, we finished second place like 5 tournaments in a row, and that, it's a good finish, but it kind of stings a little. You're so close, and, you can't pull it off. So now that we're in a little rhythm, and I think we have so much confidence going forward, it's like we're invincible. It's pretty cool.
So going into next week, MIAA Conference Championship, I believe it's Shoal Springs in Kansas City, am I correct?
Shoal Creek. Yeah.
Shoal Creek. You guys, I haven't seen the full conference leaderboard. I can't imagine you guys aren't one of the favorites with how well you guys have done as a team going into it. What are you guys going to have to do over the 3-day tournament? The change from the 3-round over 2 days, what you guys have had recently. What's that change going to be like?
For every team, the Monday is 36 holes, and after that first day, everyone is exhausted and, going to bed really early. So only playing 18 every day will, give us a lot of rest. And, but it's the same for every team. So I think just staying patient and hitting one shot at a time.
We're excited to see what you guys do next week. Bennett Baldwin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brady. Now we head east to Sweet, Georgia. The Masters is set to tee off tomorrow at the luscious Augusta National Golf Course. The first major golf championship of the year in pro golf will feature American Jake Knapp and South African Eric van Rooyen teeing off tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. However, in typical fashion, the weather is looking like it's going to be less than ideal. The National Weather Service is predicting a 90% chance of rain with severe storms and 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible to start the tournament. Thankfully, Friday and Saturday are looking perfect for some golf with sunny skies and high in the 70s. The Masters kicks off tomorrow morning on ESPN and on CBS. Headed to the Paycom Center, the Thunder played host to the Kings last night, and things didn't look good at first for the Thunder Buddies. Starting out here in the Paycom Center in the first quarter, a very nice pass from SGA finds Dort on the outside, who hits a beautiful 3. Fast forward now, still in the first. J-Dub driving to the basket, gets some help from Chet, and finds Holmgren underneath to slam it down. The Thunder down by 19 at the half, but they turned it on the third with help of SGA, who gets things started with the wide-open 3. Get ready for more of his highlights later in the third. A turnover paves way for SGA to run down the court for an easy go-ahead layup. Shea with an outstanding 40 points on the night. And here's the fourth quarter now. Thunder within 1 from completing a 20-point comeback. Aaron Wiggins running the baseline, found Wallace in the corner, stepped back and put it up for a nice score there. And the Thunder iced this one with 112 to 105. The win over the Kings secures a top 3 finish for the Thunder in the West and are still 1 game behind a tie for first place between the Nuggets and Timberwolves. The good part? The Nuggets and the Timberwolves play each other tonight. The Thunder hold the tiebreaker over the Timberwolves, so if they lose, the Thunder will move up to the 2 seed. But to do that, the Thunder need to keep on winning, and the Spurs are next in line. San Antonio's bottom of the barrel in the West, so it should be an easy work for the Thunder night. Tip-off for this one is set at 7 p.m. at the Paycom Center. Now, Pearl, Emma, you guys talked a little bit about it before, but the Olympics are going to be paying track and field stars $50 grand if they get a gold medal. What do you guys think about that?
I've heard a lot of mixed emotions about it already. I think it's a pretty big conversation since we are breaking tradition. So what do you think?
As a traditionalist, most of them are already professional athletes, so they already make a lot of money. Now, track and field is different. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens down the road because a lot can change, you know? It could be one thing, it could go really well and really not. Thank you, Mark. Coming up, I sat down and talked to Miss Edmond 2024, what her message is for the upcoming Miss Oklahoma competition.
And Destiny Pittman will have our last look at weather.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. One of UCO's very own will be representing the city of Edmond in the Miss Oklahoma pageant. I sat down with the newly crowned Miss Edmond to discuss her journey.
Emma Valgora is your typical college student, but has a very important title of Miss Edmond.
They chose, I believe, 7 or 8 girls this year, and then I got the call and was offered the title of Edmonds.
Emma has been competing since her senior year of high school, from being Miss Ponca City Teen to Miss NOC Tonkawa, and has one platform in mind to bring awareness to mental health,
which is Pause, Provide, Prevent, the 3 Ps, and it aims to educate and advocate for mental health awareness and suicide prevention education in K-12 schools.
The newly crowned Miss Edmond not only wanted the 3 Ps to be words, but she turned it into action for elementary students to understand their feelings.
That's why I decided to publish a book so that I could have my own crafted resource towards introducing the topic and introducing my organization to younger children.
Not only is she gearing up for Miss Oklahoma, Emma is also a double major at UCO and is involved in many organizations across the campus, including Alpha Gamma Delta.
Also play into Alpha Gamma Delta and to Greek life in general, as the goals really coincide. So it's been a wonderful opportunity, both Miss Edmond and Alpha Gam, to continue my goals of service and working in the community and meeting people.
So the question is, what is the end goal for the UCO Music Theater major?
I think the end goal is Miss Oklahoma. That's the hope.
From UCO's campus, I'm Emma Birch, UCentral News.
Edmond will be heading to Tulsa in June for the Miss Oklahoma competition. Good luck. And right now we're going to toss over Destiny Pittman for our last look at weather. Destiny?
Hi guys, I'm just going to give you your forecast for tomorrow. So you can see tomorrow it's going to start off very cool at 7 a.m. The sun is going to be out. Tomorrow's going to be a nice and sunny day. As we continue on into noon, though, we see those winds are picking up. So those high winds we were having tonight will carry on into tomorrow. And then as we look, we can also see that's going to be 62 degrees in the evening, and it's going to be clear. And that's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
And unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today. I'm Perla Tovar.
And I'm Emma Birch. You all have a lovely night.